Hey,
I'm not muted anymore. You can hear me.
hello everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. If you're a returning watcher, and if you're new, then welcome forward
I just heard a
to.
ding.
Yeah, that sounds like fish sticks are ready to me,
Oh, my
Jason.
fish sticks are ready.
Oh, I was wondering. I thought that was a internet thing. I thought that was a computer noise.
A computer noise.
Yeah, noise that a
Uh,
computer makes.
what are the noise?
It is the
Well,
noise
does
a
the
toaster
computer? I guess
makes.
the computer does make it work, or it does make the sound. Like it's
Mm.
electronic. It's not like in my head. It was like you know how like you have that weird like organ thing that also has like physical stuff inside of it,
Hmm.
like it's got like the like a horn and a tambourine like built into it. One of those like one man band stuff. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Um well everybody, welcome to Sound Direction, a menswear stream without the stuffiness. I am one of the people on your screen, Ethan M. Wong.
I'm another one of the people on your screen. My name is Spencer.
I'm the third person on your stream, MJ.
That's right, and we are joined by Jason and JTR, faithful patrons of the Patreon and members of the Discord. And we are just going to be playing poker, probably talking about menswear at some point, or at all points, probably. So get ready for some of that to happen. If you guys have any stuff you want to talk about, mention it here in the chat. To my left,
And if there's
right?
anything you don't want us to talk
No,
about,
other way. You're flipped.
don't tell us.
Don't ask.
Keep it
Don't
a
ask
secret.
about it.
Don't tell the doctor.
Well, I just want to say it's such an honor to have paid to get to play with fake money with you tonight and talk about menswear.
Oh,
That's what we
I'm
like
so
it.
happy.
That's all we
You
want.
know? And when we first started this, we actually like thought, oh, maybe like we would like put the like the code on the screen so people like random people could join in, but then we never did that, and I'm glad because I'd rather it be the Discord so we can actually control the people who are in it. Oh, I just saw Scoops in our Discord. To see what he said, you'd have to join, but I think he said he's gonna be jumping into our game.
How exciting!
But I just started the I just started the game, so unfortunate. MJ, you walked out of the screen while your cards are there, man. Come on. Oh man. So someone in MFA had joined Thai today.
They just love
And
things that they love being parts of communities with three letters
that's
as their
right.
name.
Yeah, Psy, MFA, CIA.
FGA, yeah, CIA, FBI, FFA,
FNS.
MTA, FNS,
Hey, love me the MTA.
MTO.
MTO, ETO.
MTM.
Daytime off. So if MTM was a was made to measure, what's MLM?
Made lick measure. It's when you
Yeah,
make
you know,
something
people.
and then you taste it.
Yeah, taste testing. It's a big part of made measures. Taste testing.
Okay. Did you guys? This might only work for like
Maybe it might be
as a,
on your chair.
this might work as a question for like Jason or Kiyoshi or whoever. But did you guys ever get people who are like, hey, do you guys do like cut, trim, sew, or cut? Was it cut and sew?
Oh, cut, make, trim, CMT.
Cut, make, yeah, CMT, where they give you, damn it, they give you like the fabric or something.
No one's ever asked me. I mean, people have asked like when I work at the store I work for if I do that, but no one's asked me personally.
No, well, I meant that like at the store. Like, did you guys ever do that? Like, actually make it?
No.
You should have, you lazy sons of bitches.
Well, we work with like ready-to-wear factories, so like everything has to be done like in large numbers, and like with time.
I'm really glad we get to see the process here because I've never seen MJ get his hair dyed Like,
Yeah.
like
She's also checking me
it-
for lice.
Okay.
Yeah, I've actually.
Man, this is quite the experience, Jason, seeing this live.
Well, thank you. You know, I figured it'd be fun. I was gonna do it tomorrow, and I was like, "Oh, this would be a fun thing to do tonight."
Do it. We'll do it live. That's what the.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll do it
fuck
live,
it. We'll
yeah.
do it live.
That's what
What's
the
the-
TV man said.
TV
Oh,
Man.
alright.
Yeah.
Is that the same guy who made Mega Man?
Mega
It is,
Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Well, he made the
TV
he
Man
made the
would be
Boogeyman.
TV Man would be a villain in Mega Man, just based on like how they named their villains.
Yeah.
I actually don't know much about Mega Man. So
Well,
I
the
don't-
villains are all named like Hammer Man or like Submarine
Wait, what-
Man.
Yeah.
Let
What
me
are
look
the-
up. I'm just gonna look up Mega Man villains. Okay, how about this? I'm gonna read you guys a list of Mega Man villains, and occasionally I will throw on a fake one, and you have to tell me when you think.
Okay, this is a good first game.
fake
This is a
one.
good first game of the night. Here we go.
Okay, and actually, I was completely. No, I was kind of right about a lot of the naming conventions. For example,
Right off the bat, wrong.
off the
Dust
bat,
Man.
well, I mean, there's more variety than I gave him credit. So right off the, I'm gonna try not to go in alphabetical order, although this list is presented to me alphabetically. With 2 wins in a row, baby.
Dude, what the
Uh,
hell?
It's rigged.
okay, we got Acid Man, Airman, Apollo Flame, Armored Armadillo, Bass, Bamboo Pandemonium, Blade
Half
Man,
of those can't be real.
Blast
Okay, wait. Okay,
Man.
why don't you only give us like 5 at a time, and we have to figure, or like 3 or 4 at a time?
Yeah, you give us the whole list here. You're
Okay,
determining all of them.
Don't give us the whole thing.
Okay, hold on. Let me see what I can.
Bamboo pandemonium.
Bamboo Pandemonium.
Pandemonium.
My name is Bamboo Pandemonium.
That
Why
sounds
does
like
he-
it gets.
Why does
Feel like
why does he have Mitch McConnell's voice?
That is actually Mitch McConnell's real name.
I'm on fire.
I'm afraid I'm on fire. So how about
I feel-
I'm afraid I'm Bamboo Pandemonium.
Okay, so
Pandemonium
here we
is
go.
racist
We
real
have
quick.
Good God.
we have Flame. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a couple. So we got Flame Man, Galaxy Man, Gemini Man. Sorry, I'm picking bad ones for this list. Boomer.
forward.
There's Boomer Kung Wanger and
I'm sorry, what?
Boomer Kung Ko Wanger.
Sounds
And then Grim
No.
Vulture.
Well, you said Gemini Man, didn't you? I
Gemini
agree
Man.
with that. Isn't that
That
with,
is
Will
the
Smith?
name of a Will Smith movie where he plays both his young and his old self.
Yep.
I think that's the
Um,
first one.
That is actually a real Mega Man villain in addition to
Oh,
being a
shit.
real movie.
I'm looking it up. Gemini Man, Mega Man.
How about
Is it?
Oh,
is
he-
it-
oh, he's-
is it Boomer?
He's kind of cool. He's pretty cool. Oh no.
I'm digging it.
How did you spell the other one? Boomer Mega what?
it's Boomer
Oh,
Find out here first.
Boomer Kowanger. That's Kuwanger.
oh, this guy's kind of sick too.
You like Boomer?
Yeah, he's got like a General Grievous thing going on.
That's bacon.
Very good with that.
Yeah.
He really okay. I'm gonna put this in live, and you'll see he's definitely got a Grievous thing going on.
Okay, so I'm gonna go
General
through.
Kobe.
Let's do. So the fake one in there was actually Grim Vulture.
Right.
Let me go. I'm gonna name. Well, okay. Let me.
Doing groups of 3. I think there's
Let
too
me
many
do.
names. It's
Okay.
like
Let me
3
just
names.
do. Let me just do groups of 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Two
there.
truths, one lie.
There is.
Thank you.
Okay. So we have Army Man, Clock Man, and then finally, Jerry Romano.
I'm gonna say Clockman's not real.
I want to
Man.
say
Oh, go
Jerry
on.
Romano.
I don't
is
think
not
Jerry
real.
is real.
Jerry
doesn't
Romano
seem-
is real. Clockman is real. Army Man
Damn
is
it.
not real.
Hey, which one's not real?
Army Man is not real.
Army man.
Okay, so Clockman in I'm looking it up. Clockman
Uh,
Mega Man. Here we go.
Jeremy Renner is not real.
Jeremy Renner.
Clockman's kind of sick too. Man, I gotta get on this Mega Man. I gotta
Clockman.
get on
Just
this.
naming
that?
these villains that they're like Clockman, like crazy.
They're
Very-
giving not real
Oh,
names.
here,
like,
okay,
like
so this is
millions?
this is just a really good name in general. Magnus Goss. I like that
That's a
name.
pretty good name. Wait, what did you say? The real one, Jerry Romano?
Jerry Romano, but it's spelled Gerry.
Oh,
Or sorry, Romero. Jerry Romero.
oh. Well, I would have known that one.
Okay.
Oh, it's Zero.
Zero Suit Samus. Oh shit.
It is Zero Suit
Eight.
Sam.
I should add that to the archive, MJ.
How about
My
Joker? Joker's in this.
Joker.
Every franchise has their own Joker.
The Joker Man.
How about
Now, okay, now to make this menswear, did you guys ever think when you watched that movie last year or 2 years ago, where you're like, I'm gonna get that suit, man?
I mean, I wear that.
I
suit
have never
every
seen
day.
the Joker. I still haven't seen it.
Have you ever?
Are
looked
you
in the
asking?
mirror?
Did we rush out and buy a purple corduroy suit? Is that what you're asking us?
Well, it's red, right? It's a burgundy peak lapel suit. I mean, in Joker, I like the burgundy Joker.
Burgundy Joker.
I mean, yeah, in looking at the suit, it's like not like it's not like that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean,
now
it's fine.
it's one of those things where like looking at it,
You can't wear it now, though. It's gone full Joker.
yeah, you can't wear it now.
It's the fact that it's associated with the Joker just makes it impossible.
Ethan, when you
Right.
go to New York, can you, if you, let's say that you go to visit, oh no, no, if you're in the Bronx, you got to go to those
The
stairs.
Bronx.
You got to go to those
Yeah.
stairs. I thought for a second, I
The
thought they were in
stairs.
Queens, and I was gonna say you could go visit Ivan or something.
They're
and
not in
then,
Queens.
and then jump down those stairs, but you're gonna have to go to the Bronx for that. I don't know where the Bronx is in relation to Queens.
Well, the Bronx is the one like north. It's the northeast Florida.
Okay, the northest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put something in live here. I mean, what about this Joker outfit? Hold on.
We're looking at Joker fits.
Oh god.
I'm
no.
looking at Joker fits.
We're rating Joker fits.
Oh
my
what does
God.
he look like in
The fucking Jared Leto
Justice
Joker.
League Snyder Cut?
Joker Snyder cut.
Does he just have
Did
like,
anyone
I think I watched it. I don't like I barely
anyone
remember.
watch?
He's
new
wearing
Suicide Squad?
like a long sleeve shirt, or I think it's like a
tunic
straight jacket
or something? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that he's
And
like
then
dressed
has a
like
bulletproof
Jesus.
vest on top.
Yeah.
You know, he believes he's Jesus too.
I mean to many.
Jared
Jared
Leto. or the
Leto.
Joker?
Jared
What about
Leto.
Jared Leto in the House of Gucci?
I'm more excited for
The
my
House
man,
of Gucci.
Man.
the Kylo Ren. What's his fucking thing?
Oh,
Adam Driver. Yeah.
Good suit.
That movie is gonna be such like
Good soup.
fucking menswear thing.
What, the House of Gucci?
Yeah.
Oh, what's gonna become the new hashtag menswear?
Oh no.
I mean, when you look at it, like what's his name? Fucking Adam Driver is wearing like the yuppie attire thing.
Mhm.
You know, bold striped shirt, pinstripe with like a weird. I'm looking it up right now. I mean, it's like pre-yuppie, right? Because this is still like 70s or.
I don't know when it's set. 80s, probably early 80s is my guess. Late 70s, maybe.
I mean, they are European, right? So.
European on my leg.
Yeah, I've never really looked into this other than the that like jumpsuit with turtleneck cable knit thing going on.
Mhm.
Well, I remember when Knives Out came out, everyone wanted on with that cable.
Oh,
knit,
the cable knit, the crew neck cable knit. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys see Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez have a murder mystery show?
I
on
did. It
Hulu?
seems weird. I don't know what's going on.
I'm actually
with
pretty
that.
excited for it. I mean, I love the three of them actually.
Yeah.
So.
I really like Steve Martin and Martin Short. I don't know much about I haven't seen much with Selena. I gotta be honest. I was not a
Only
I was not a
murders in
Disney.
the
I was not a
beginning.
Disney Channel kid, and then
Yeah.
I haven't really. I think I've seen Spring
What
Breakers.
kind of kid
but
were
that's-
you?
Nickelodeon.
Uh,
Watch Nickelodeon.
Oh, I could watch this like right now, huh? Oh no, it's
He was,
We're
it's
No.
streaming. You
like-
can't watch
Kind of-
anything.
kind of guy.
I meant yeah.
When was the
Yeah.
last time that any of you saw something on a TV show or a movie where you said, "Oh, I do actually want to buy that"? Like, when were you last influenced?
Last
pop culture.
influence? Last
Yeah.
influence.
What's the most
Huh.
recent pop culture? Like we were talking about this in the show today, right? In all the ways of like people who are watching these things and they're seeing like this shirts on Loki and going to try to get those and like
Yeah.
right. And it was generally a pretty like negative tone, right? But was there a time like when you could say like, "Oh yeah, I saw this thing, it made me want to like wear it rather than mock it"?
I feel
Good
like I don't know. I
question.
feel like that could happen with like period pieces.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like Spencer, when like every so often he'll watch fucking Inherent Vice. He'll have it on in the background. He'll be like, "Oh hell yeah, dude!" And then he'll just wear that again.
Yeah,
Like, and he always does it all the time.
awesome.
I think
It's
maybe
awesome.
the last thing. I'm trying to think recently, like if I was watching anything that like stood out to me. I semi-related. I was noticing. I'm like doing a rewatch of How I Met Your Mother, and Barney actually wears like. I mean, it's also like suits pre-menswear kind of. Like he's wearing like the jackets are like a little bit longer. Like the pants are like they're not pleated, but they're like they're not like super
they're
slim.
definitely
He's
not
wearing,
pleated.
and they're not. He's not wearing like tan shoes or anything. So it's like. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool to see. I wouldn't wear it. But clothing, like that I actually enjoyed.
Not really.
It can't be Fast 9. Can't
it
know,
is absolutely Fast 9.
it can't be Suicide Squad. It can't be
Did you watch the new
Green
Suicide
Knight.
Squad?
I did.
Was
What's
it good?
up, Boops?
I didn't watch it.
I liked it. It's fun.
It's fun. I give it a watch. I have HBO Max, so.
It
I
is
mean,
on
I
HBO Max.
to answer JTR, I think I watched, like The Crown, and I'm, like last year during the pandemic, and I was like, hell yeah! Like, I mean, I don't know about like any specific outfit or even a
Is
specific
that when
piece.
the barber hunt began or intensified?
That is, yeah. Actually, yes, that's when the barber hunt actually officially began. Where I was
Yes.
like, just like everybody
Oh,
else,
yes.
it was like
Nice.
looking at it. Jesus Christ! My God.
I was,
yeah.
say the Crown for me too. The Crown was big. Charles has so many great suits, and I think probably blazer and trouser mixes as well that are pretty
Yeah.
cool. Obviously, they're
Mhm.
I don't know if I could really pull them off, but he looks so good. And then the barber jackets too are just so nice.
I watched the Bee Gees documentary recently, and I was like, "There's some good fits in there."
Ooh.
Oh, my
Some of the
brother
shit
was.
Andy Gibb wears. That's pretty good.
Well, my brother was watching the that I think it's like a documentary on Hulu. I think that's about like the Harlem Jazz Festival or something like that.
Oh
And-
yeah, I did. I didn't watch it yet, but I did see
Yeah,
it.
I like when my brother's I was like walking in and out of the room or whatever, and I was like, damn, everyone looks so cool. All of
Yeah.
like the the Wayfair, like the different types of Wayfarers, like they're not all
the Ray-Ban ones.
Ray-Ban ones. Like, they're kind of thinner or whatever, and so I was like, yeah, dude, like this is pretty sick. But barbers, yeah, I every time I was like looking at it with seeing like literally almost every character on The Crown wear a barber jacket. Was like, fuck, I
Because
need to like.
I mean, you open up a barber and you see right there that big seal that says the queen loves this jacket.
The cool.
Yeah.
This is
On the
Queen's
subject
favorite
of
jacket.
Charles, though, I think that's also what started
R.I.P. By the way.
me wearing. Well, he's not. Charles isn't dead.
Well, wait, you don't know what Jason knows.
Yeah,
Oh shit, Mad
dead-
King
he's dead.
George.
he's dead to me. Let me tell you.
But seeing, I think The Crown, seeing everything kind of more English and not in like the English country that perhaps like that I still like and that like what's it called, that Ivan might kind of be into, like brown jackets, gray pants, but like seeing like
No
kind
brown
of
in
just
town.
plain suits,
And the DBs too.
The DBs. And yeah, it just looks so good. Obviously I didn't buy anything new from it other than Hunt for a Barber, but like it was still like, okay, what can I recontextualize here? And I'm pretty sure also the crown kind of led to like my thing of like, okay, the yuppie like 80s corporate look, because that's like a lot of like a later season or the most recent season, like Charles will wear like a Bengal striped shirt with like
R.I.P. Diana.
There you go. Well, she's actually dead.
Allegedly.
She's hanging out with John Lennon and
yeah.
They're saying, imagine we're
They're
still,
saying, imagine
we're still alive.
Yeah. Imagine we're still alive.
Imagine if you loved the Black Dahlia.
Oh shit! I won.
Yeah. By the way, hey, Jason Boop says, "My dog, are you getting your hair curled while playing poker?" It's even better, Boops.
No,
Jason,
I'm not getting it curled. I'm currently dyeing it pink.
He's currently dying.
Yes.
I'm dying currently.
What about the rest of you guys? JTR, what about you? Any piece of pop culture yourself that you've been like, hell yeah?
Hell yeah!
I was thinking about it, and I wasn't quite the last time that I really like got caught up in it,
Cool.
maybe like a year ago, was Jarvis Cocker. I just like loved his outfits, right? And he's like this English musician, like front man for like this band Pulp. And so I was like, I wouldn't track down the music, which is easy, right? I did a Google search is what I mean by that. And I just did not dig it, right? It was so disappointing. I'm like, I love this guy and the way he dresses, but I'm not into like what he actually does, right? So it's like a very like weird disconnect there.
That's a bummer.
That's how I feel about
like
the
an album full of all the pictures on my computer, right? So maybe I should watch the documentary about him that's on Amazon on mute or something.
There you
I'm
go.
tempted.
There you
Just
go.
for the fits.
Just for the fit.
Monoskin.
What about
I do like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
No, go ahead,
moments,
JTR.
though, right? Where like the disconnect between like loving the look of something, but not loving the appearance of something or the aesthetics of something, but not necessarily loving the thing that generated that aesthetics. I feel like is always like a weird thing and feels very like posery, even though like obviously Jarvis and English music did not create the suit or like these odd mashups, but in some ways, right, those things can't be disconnected. I don't know. Anyway, that's a little internal wrestling of like, oh, am I a total fake? And then I decided I didn't really care.
Well, I get the same feeling.
Anyway.
That like rock band that won Eurovision or whatever. I like their look, but I absolutely hate their music.
Måneskin?
What?
Måneskin?
Yeah, sure. Måneskin. I hate them. I think the music is really bad, and I think it did not deserve to win Eurovision. But I like their look.
Interesting. I haven't had any of that so far. Like, I don't know. Maybe I like internalized.
There's movies you like where you hate the score, right? Like that's the same kind of thing in a way.
Right, but then I don't like the
You're
movie
sending them on the
by
tangent
extension, though, right? Like that's sometimes it ends up being like that, where because of that thing I don't like it. Maybe that's wrong. I'm trying to think of a movie where I was like, "Oh, I love this movie, but the score is bad." Maybe it's as simple as I like the movie and the score is negligible. Like I don't love it, nor do I hate it.
Is the opposite more like? Maybe it's more like the opposite though. Are there scores you love but go like this movie is trash?
Oh, I mean, animated movies have like such great scores, and the movies are pretty stupid.
Name one bad.
Name one bad movie. Period. There haven't been any.
Period.
Okay, well, how about this?
The picture's like literally move, Ethan. It's a miracle.
It's a miracle of human engineering. No, I think a good example of this. And
why do you hate technology?
I'm a Luddite, actually. So, but I think I use this with Spencer very often, or when people ask, as a good example. The score to Boss Baby is okay.
All right,
the movie
I'll give you that one, Boss Baby.
The movie Boss Baby is whatever, but there's a specific cue in the film that is really good, and is probably like I looked into why it's so amazing, why this cue was there, and it's because all of them could not figure out how to score this particular scene, and they actually had to bring in a guy who worked with John Williams in order to make it work in the way that they wanted it to. So they couldn't even do it like normally. And that's like a good example of like, wow, look at this great piece of music that is attached to the climax of Boss Baby.
Boss Baby.
Yeah. I'm pretty
That
sure
movie
the
was pretty
vibe they
bad.
were going for is like the ending of like E.T. because it's very
Yeah.
similar.
They arrest
but yeah.
Boss Baby and subject him to experiments.
They did, yeah.
And then he realizes he loves his brother, so he has to go save him.
There's a scene where Boss Baby is at home and he finds a beer and drinks it, and then his older brother gets drunk in school.
Oh my god. Where's the girl Boss Baby?
Where's the girl Boss Baby?
I
Where
haven't seen Boss
she starts
Baby
an
2
MLM.
back in the family business, but I did listen to the score and it's bad. Like it seems like a Netflix thing. But yeah, that's
Netflix
probably a
bad
good
on
example.
Netflix.
I mean, I also don't like rewatch Boss Baby just to hear the score. Like I can now just listen to the
Seems
music,
odd.
you know. But I'm trying to think of some more stuff like that where, the movie was really like I'm trying to think of like a serious movie where the score was like really great and the movie was kind of bad because it's easy to say that animated movies or kid movies or even comedies.
I mean, have there like what like John Williams scored movies do you not like?
Oh, okay, that's a good one. Okay, well, it's
Yeah.
also like if it's a bad movie, it's kind of like really good bad. So example would be, and if you guys haven't seen this Andy Kaufman film, Heart Beeps, because robots have heart beeps.
Robots do have heart beeps. They're
Yeah,
famous
you
for
guys
that.
should watch it if you can find it somewhere, or watch it. Yeah, find it. It is an absolutely god awful film. It is what made Andy Kaufman say, "I'm never doing a film again in my life." And the score is by John Williams. Crazily enough, after he had gotten big success with Empire Strikes Back, it's kind of like, it's crazy. It's crazy that he did this, but I guess maybe sometimes composers still need money.
Every once in a while, composers do need money.
I mean, I would say The Post is kind of like whatevs.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like the best film.
Yeah.
And nor is it
Lowbrow.
John Williams' best score. I'm sure some other like 80s stuff. Like I don't know how good The Family Plot is by Alfred Hitchcock. Like I don't know if it was received well. I haven't seen it.
Ooh, Spooks ran away.
Jaws. Damn, I'm dead already. I gotta come back.
I'm dead.
That one was too easy.
Thank you, Jason. I mute myself to blow
I
dry my
like
hair.
when you have the middle part and the folded in hair. You look like alfalfa. It's great.
Oh man.
Oh, I forgot to change my. I can edit my player.
You forgot to change your name to alfalfa.
Yeah. So at trivia, there was this. It was a thing where it was like, I forgot. It was like there's there's like A's in it or whatever. In the name or in the answer, and it was like, oh, Goofus hangs out with this guy in this magazine, and all I could think of was alfalfa, but I, for the life of me, could not remember Gallant.
Goofus and alfalfa.
Well, I thought I was
love
like,
that.
okay, maybe what's alfalfa from again? The fucking
He's from the Little Rascals.
yeah. So I was like, oh, maybe there's some Goofus kid in there, like
There's some
they got weird.
Goofus.
They got some weird fucking names. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure, yeah, it could work. And then turns out I was very wrong in that one. Also, I will say, last night at trivia, Jeopardy rules and everything. Like I hate how specific people are. Like how like the grading is kind of specific. Like they said, I think it was something really dumb where it was you couldn't say the full name. Like, oh yeah, it was basically the answer was Lampoon, but it was like, oh, from the title of Animal House and blah blah blah, and we're like, oh, National Lampoon.
Mhm.
But they said, oh, we're only accepting Lampoon because we're asking for the synonym for spoof or for parody or whatever. I was like, that's stupid. But then when it was like, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Like, oh, I also accepted Lord of the Rings. It's like, no, fucking, that's not the actual movie. It's not the specific movie. It's Return of the King. You can't give it to people who just put Lord of the Rings.
Somewhere our wires got crossed.
Oh yeah, somewhere. I don't understand. You're saying to be specific, and I can't do it. Oh my god! But yeah, that was we still won first place, and I
Nice.
tipped the bartenders nicely because it's like still
So
add
you
food
won.
and everything. Yeah.
Hey, we just did something. Thank you to Haas for the follow.
Thank you, Haas. I hope you're enjoying this. Like, I don't know what kind of content this is. Poker content.
Hanging out. So Haas followed me on my stream, so I wonder if they're a real person.
Hmm.
So if they can drop a comment in the chat, that's a real comment, not a copy pasta.
Yeah, welcome, Haas, from the MJ Cinematic Universe.
The MCU.
The MCU. MG, your camera's off. I don't know if you did that's on purpose.
They're gonna green
My
screen it
camera's
in
off?
like the MCU.
Oh,
We have MCU at home.
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. Okay, MJ, you're gonna have to be all the characters now. What do
Yeah.
you? What? Okay, what Marvel character can you do the best impression of?
Doctor Strange.
That's what I can do. But I don't know what can MJ do.
I'm Doctor Strange.
No, Doctor.
Hey,
I don't believe in
Doctor Strange.
I don't believe in chakras. He does
Call
live
me,
on Bleecker Street.
call me Steven, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Call me Steven.
I'm Doctor Strange.
Hey, where's Wong at over here? Like that's what he probably says in that movie.
Yeah. And then he's like,
Um,
don't do the spell.
He says, I'm going to...
Is Wong also?
Wong also sounds like that. Hey, I'm Wong. Don't do the spell.
I think there's actually a movie where what's his I forgot what is it Benedict Wong, I think that's the actor's name.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's one where he does like a New York accent, which I think is hilarious.
I like it.
Speaking of movies, and style, I remember like Dr. Octopus, fucking trench coat, dude. Like, that was pretty sick.
How about those little glasses? He had the original clout goggles.
Well, he had regular glasses. What I love from Ultimate Spider-Man, Earth 1616, or no 1610, Earth 1610, is that he gets the not the Morpheus ones. He wears basically like tanning goggles, like they're like rubberized and they fit into his like his eyes,
His eye holes.
his eye holes. And yeah, I like that one a lot. Also, in that universe, it turns out he doesn't control his tentacles; he controls metal. In that universe,
I like it. I like controlling metal. It's a fun.
and
Oh, so
apparently,
he forms the limbs out.
Well,
of, like,
yeah. So at
standing
one
metal?
point, I think at one point, like they destroy his tentacles, and it fucking almost kills him because of like the mental link. And when he gets mad, like the pieces still form together, and he goes, "Oh shit! Like I didn't control tentacles, I control the metal." And then I ended up going on a deep dive, like on yesterday or whatever, about the Ultimate Spider-Man universe, and in that one, the Green Goblin kills Doc Ock. Like they get into an argument about the Sinister Six, and then Goblin just keeps punching until he dies.
Have we watched the David Letterman
Yeah, we have.
Freak Like Me Needs Company thing?
Yeah, we did. I think that was like last year, dude.
I think about the lizard in that all the time, where it's like, those like inflatable like costumes that you get on Halloween. It's like one of those. It's awesome. To try to find a picture.
Put it in live, baby. I gotta tag everybody on this. Oops.
If you look at the lyrics for Freak Like Me and Its Company, it's cool because it's like an ode to New York City.
I love New York.
So it's kind of like that's kind of like a great New York song.
Everyone thanks to Frank Sinatra. Jeez, he got his money back.
I'm just gonna put the video again.
I think Jesus Christ.
I'm not gonna play it, but I'm just gonna drop it in live. So if you guys want to watch it later, you can.
God, this is like the worst. Oh man. So I was inside today, obviously. As
I was inside. And then I was outside
went walkies
sometimes.
today.
And there was a fashion chat, and so yesterday someone was like, and again, there's nothing wrong with this kind of stuff. Everyone has their own style. These guys don't care as much about aesthetics as we do. There's nothing wrong with that. But I did get into a big, not argument, but like a kind of like a philosophical debate, maybe, I don't know, about like why I think about clothing in terms of aesthetics and why it's important to like think about that first, obviously. And that's something that we've all talked about on the pod. Is like the number one thing. If someone says, I need help dressing up, what do we say? What do you want to look like? What does that person look like to you? And the reason why is because earlier someone talked about I'm just gonna find it. And everyone agreed with me at the end of the day, but it's more so like, oh, we just don't we don't need it to be as deep as that or whatever. And I'm like, it can be. So I'm looking up here. I'm gonna scroll up. And again, this is not meant to to be not mean or anything, but I think I scrolled too far. Then he goes, requesting suggestions that satisfies one of two requirements below. Cheap shirts, for my shirts tend to break down quicker due to my activities in my spare time. Don't know what that means, first of all.
I like though, if your stuff's breaking down, definitely the solution is to spend less money.
Yeah,
it's you're not wrong. Yeah.
Replace
exactly.
faster with cheaper shirts.
There's nothing that could be better made out there.
Yeah.
Or number two, fashionable shirts that I can wear on outings with friends or dates. So either I like how it's either one or the other. Either it's got to be so cheap because the shirts break down, or it's got to be so good that you can wear it with your friends and dates. Like it's got to be, And so one of my friends
when you find the shirt, let me know.
Yeah, the ultimate shirt, right?
The ultimate shirt.
And then oh shit, what the fuck is happening? I'm gonna die again.
You're gonna die again.
So someone responded. One of my friends. These are all friends. These are trying to be as nice as I can here. This is not any. This guy is not looking to look like a 1970s like trad or a 80s cocaine dealer. Someone says cheap. What price cost to you per shirt? Like what is your price or the cost per t-shirt? And what's the stuff?
And if you want it, I can.
Oh, that was Jason.
Sorry, my bad. Actually unmuted.
No worries. Don't worry about it. And what's the stuff you're interested in wearing? I'm like, okay. I was like monitoring this. I was like, oh, good job. Like you're asking. And then he goes, ideally less than $10.
Oh my god.
Less than $10 on like this perfect shirt kind of deal.
Well, I mean, I have to remember it's either one or the other. Either it's got to be so cheap or really fashionable. It can't be both. Okay. And number two, he goes, oh, I think I need to think about that some more. And then of course, someone suggested a bunch of.
Should I re-wet it and do it again?
A bunch of dry, short, dry T-shirts from Uniqlo. So MJ, you got that.
Yeah.
And then so he says like, oh, thanks, coming in clutch. And then he oh, I can only go all in, huh?
That's the only thing you're able to do.
And he goes, number two, I'm looking for shirts with dry crew necks, but have patterns and are of higher quality that would make me look more presentable. Actually, patterns are optional. My bad.
Even he doesn't know what he wants.
Yeah, and it's like so someone said, just get your number one. Just get different colored T-shirts. Like, just do that.
Yeah.
And then it started saying like, oh, maybe go to Ross and get some shirts. If you take care of them, they will last you forever.
Like from Friends?
And then he goes, "Yeah, I might do that. I might go to Ross to save
Ooh,
money on
triple
shipping
king
from
size.
Uniqlo, dude. There's Uniqlo everywhere, bro. Like, there's like, come on.
Oh, Ethan's face bounced.
Oh shit, I'm gone.
Yeah, we ran out of money.
Okay, I'll
I mean,
come
it's-
back when I'm done reading through this thread.
There isn't Uniqlo everywhere, but I mean, any big city should have it.
Well, wait,
But
well,
like,
remember
you're
yeah,
shipping
we're in
over
SoCal.
however much
so,
money.
Yeah, I mean,
Chicago has one.
They
Yeah.
also have shipping.
Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
But I was gonna say, remember, this is a very local Discord group, and so
Mm.
they're like, I wish. I mean, again, I don't want to be a stylist, as we discussed in the Discord, where that guy was all like, "Hey, how do I dress like this one guy?" and have someone tell me what to wear, and there was a picture of me. I'm not interested in being a stylist, but when it's
How do we
friends,
look like you?
How do I be
when
You
it's
don't.
friends or people that I like have hung out with and got both with, I'm like, I wish I could just be there just to like, press them on this stuff, because it's like, come on, man. And so for full disclosure, this guy is super nice. He is an engineer. Last time saw him, the first time I saw him, he wore a NASA t-shirt, as you probably expected. And then number two, the next time I saw him, he wore a shirt that was like, "We're all planets except for you, Pluto," like one of those things. Kind of like what Sheldon Cooper might wear on Big Bang Theory.
Oh,
Sheldon. So they're talking about, hey, why don't we all have a Ross meetup shopping day? And
Ross Holiday?
yeah, Ross Hall or a thrift store where you can. And I don't
Wait,
get
quick question: are you guys talking about Ross Dress for Less,
this. Yeah.
Yes.
or is there a different thing?
No.
That
we
has
have,
to be it.
It's the same Ross, Jason. That's
like
why
a
we're
TJ Maxx?
TJ, yeah.
yes. Like
They
the
also
Col-
want to do a thrift store day where they can only spend $20 and see who gets the best fit. I really
Why
hate.
does it have to? Why does it have to be challenges? Why does everything
Yeah,
be a
that's
fucking
what I'm saying.
challenge?
Well, I don't understand it. I don't get this whole thing. Like, why don't you buy clothes that like look good, man? That you're gonna wear
Right.
forever.
But no, I can only spend $5 on it. If it's not $5, I'm not wearing it.
Now,
That's
now
stupid.
Nordstrom Rack's pretty good because apparently Nordstrom Rack has sold Ring Jacket, and I think that's where Chuck got his Con 70s before. So
I
Nordstrom
think
Rack can actually.
Nordstrom Rack actually
They have
moves a lot of their stuff from their stores to the rack,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
not like most places are made for it.
Well, I think it's both
Well-
with Nordstrom Rack.
Right. It's a
I've
super
seen
combination.
Suit Supply there too, which
Oh,
isn't
yeah?
the best. It's not the worst.
Mhm.
This is okay. This one I don't want to. Again, I'm trying not to be mean here. Some guy goes, "Well, we can't forget about Sears clearance. That's my fave, bro."
Sears has clearance themselves.
Wait. That's my fave.
Yeah, five. Yeah, it's my fave. Five pieces of clothing for $30, dude. I'd be so concerned with what those $30 are. Oh, by the way, this is kind of mean. And again, I don't want to be mean, but I think
Have
I
to be
was mean
mean.
here. But when I went to Boba on Sunday, I think I totally got this on Sunday where like I went and some people were like, "Oh, cool, Ethan from MFA is coming. I got to dress up."
Cool.
And then a guy was like, "Oh yeah, it's nice to meet you." And I instinctively said, "Oh yeah, I like your shirt." It was like a regular shirt, but I guess the story is not mean, but I felt like I had to like say something
No.
nice, you know?
My 3 of a
Um,
kind.
Okay, let's see here. Williams is a Sears kid. No, that sounds mean. That sounds like it's a dig right there.
Yeah.
And okay, so then I let me add people back in here. So this is when I jumped in. I was like, please
I think my
please
webcam
figure out exactly what you want to look like. Everything has an archetype, and that can help hone your tastes and where you go to shop. And then the guy goes, "Well, what if you don't know what you want to look like?" And I said, "Figure it out, man. Like, you gotta think about it. You don't go to a grocery store without knowing what you want to eat." And then he says here, this guy was like, "I agree with you. I want to see your thought process when you pick out clothes for someone." Then I said, "I can't pick out clothes for people unless I know what they want to look like." Like I literally will remove myself from it. And then he goes, well, most people honestly are asking how they look good on a basic level. Then I said, I disagree with this as a baseline because honestly, anything works nowadays. Nothing is like bad outside of like a wedding or a funeral. Like occasion type stuff, you will feel left out, or not left out. You will feel out of place. But like hang out with friends, you can wear a fucking t-shirt and flip flops and like plaid shorts, basically unchanged from 2003, and no one will care. And the thing is, people still do that inside anyway, and it's fine. People still have fun. People go to Korean barbecue. People go to karaoke and like that. It doesn't matter. And someone goes, well, I think what you're hinting at is something a bit more advanced. And I'm like, is it? Like, to know what you want to look like? Is that an advanced concept? Like, even when people say, I want to look presentable, you still know what that, like, looks like in your head. Like, you know, like, oh, you want to feel good in it, so what does that mean? You know? And so I said, like, I'm pretty like people know what looks good. And then they said, well, I don't agree. And I'm like, well, you're wrong. Because, I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, if you're dressed, I mean, like we said before, like if you're dressing them based on other people's expectations, it'll be a constant battle of do I fit in? Is this appropriate? Am I doing it correctly? Like, you're never gonna be able to think for yourself, especially because now everything is going to be even more nebulous, right? Like, you're just gonna be more confused.
Right. I think it's like, yeah, when you're trying to like figure your whole style out, you gotta at least have a baseline. You can't just go into a store with $20 and think you're gonna come out with a personality.
Well, yeah, because I mean, they wouldn't sell anything if it wasn't bad, or if it was bad. You know, like most, like people still buy fast fashion all the time and wear it to like high school and college. Like, it's like you're not gonna, like, you walk into an H&M, you'll be, and again, I'm not saying you should go to the fast fashion route at all, but it's like, if you go into a relatively cool store with some kind of curation, you're probably going to get something that's gonna be fine. You know, You're not gonna go, like, going to a thrift store is tough because you are literally being, you have to wade through literal stuff that people have thrown out. But at H&M, there is, or J. Crew, or whatever, or Nordstrom, whatever it is, there's been a whole team of people to decide this is what people are gonna buy, and there's research and forecasting behind it. I mean, some of the stuff can be dumb, but that doesn't mean it's not appropriate or, quote, presentable.
It's really interesting though, right? This idea of like, I can get all this stuff on sale, right, for super cheap. Because it's the same way that people buy anything that they don't have opinions on, which is just like, give me more of it, right? And that's just better. Like, I want more food. Give me an all-I-can-eat buffet. That's luxury. If I can't, whatever it is, just give me lots of it.
I love
give me lots of clothes. That's, well, not all bad necessarily, but I'm just like, but it's just the idea of it's like also like with movies, right? Just give me more, right? Like, just give me more violence, give me more action, give me louder sound, just give
as
me
many
more
superheroes as possible.
Right, and that maximalism isn't always like, it's not always trash, but it's just such a weird aesthetic choice to make. If you as like your default, right? As it's like the default choice there. But the same thing happens to people oftentimes when people start getting into clothes too, and they really care about clothes. Is they start with like just more is more. I'll say this as like a devoted maximalist, right? But that is where people often will start with maximalism, and they slowly like tone it down too, right? Which is often where they start with movies or start with food or anything else. Just start with this more and more and more and more. And it's interesting that that's where people start rather than like, oh, I don't really know a lot about this, so maybe I'll be careful around it.
Well, this is a really good phenomenon because it really applies to what my friend Adam has brought up and to what I later went into on this whole thing about, like, they want to max min everything or min max everything, right? They want the least amount of effort with the maximum amount of return, and usually that means just, as you said, just more of something. They want this to like fill every particular need that they could possibly have. With movies, it's like, well, I want drama, I want action, blah blah blah, and I want all my favorite heroes to be in it, blah blah blah. It's like, then everyone fucking loves Infinity War and Endgame, And again, like maximal, getting the most out of something isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think that when it's applied to almost everything, especially with a low taste level, it doesn't really work out, like, I mean, there's plenty of good movies that like have a lot of different genres within it. I mean, I think Spencer he likes Hail Caesar, which is a good example of like including a lot of different, you know. I mean, it's literally like a bunch of different genres in almost an anthology kind of thing, and that's fine, you know. But yeah, people just kind of, I don't know what this is. Maybe is it the rise of like STEM? I mean, not to be anti-STEM here.
We need more. We need more menswear in STEM. I've been saying
we need more art than. Well, I mean, it's like everything is applied to. Everyone wants to be like a STEM. Everyone wants to think like they are a STEM person. Everyone wants to be like the engineer, the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It's
defund science.
Defund science.
We've had enough of it.
Because so I'm in this conversation with this guy. I'm like trying to, or this person. I'm trying to show them that everything is an intentional choice. Like you can't just be like, oh, this fits good. Because I'm like, well, if you think about it, like as a devil's advocate, like a guy could be like, oh, well, why should I buy slim pants when I see baggy pants like out at the mall, right? Like I'm trying to combat that. Where at this point in time, there's really like no real reason other than you just like that particular look, but you have to be conscious of that particular look. Right. And so, like I said, because he said like, oh, well, does like why can't we just focus on like what fits well? I'm like, well, fit is relative, man. Like it's so like not just with body.
You're not a Ken doll. We're just throwing shit on.
And it's also like like just it's also not just physique, but also like again the look that you want, and you could still wear like a baggy chinos and not be like high fashion, but maybe to these people everything is high fashion,
Well, it's super.
Everything's high fashion.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
If you've seen these studies about like grocery aisles where people go in, there's like lots of choices of mustard. They're actually less happy with their choice than if they're like two. And this is what happened with fashion today, right? Is suddenly you can dress however you want. You can wear anything you want, which makes it just really hard to know what to do if you're only like have a passive. Like if you're a mustard devotee, having like 1,000 choices of mustard is great. But if you're if you just don't really care for mustard that much or just kind of like it, then having 1,000 choices is like torture. And I feel like that's what's happening to a lot of people with clothes right now. Is it's the worst time to be like want to dress nicely but not really care too much because it's just so unclear what that means, and you have to make an aesthetic choice because there is no default.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think people need to learn that and get that through their head. Like that's the only way you're gonna know what to watch, right? Like I mean, there's also like when people are like, oh, there's so much stuff on Netflix, I don't know what to watch. You're like, well, what do you like to watch, man? Like just go from what you like instead of like you have to do everything that's like new. Because
no one knows what they like on Netflix anymore either, right? They're just waiting for the algorithm to tell them what to do, right?
That's first off, that's crazy.
Wear, right?
Like that's like I think Henrik has brought this up about like how like the algorithm has like ruined like music, and and obviously there's the essay that Martin Scorsese wrote about algorithm and Marvel movies and everything like that. But I always find it weird.
We've seen the evil algae rhythm.
Oh, that's right.
And all the shit that he pulled.
The character that we created, actually.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like I don't know how the rest of you guys are. I don't really use the algorithm for anything. Like probably the only time I do that is like for YouTube videos where like I'm bored, and so I don't mind it kind of leading into the next thing or seeing what's suggested for me. But on most stuff where I have a choice, whether it's Instagram, like who to follow, whether it's like music, to a certain extent, film scores, it's definitely not algorithmic based, or even like on Netflix or whatever. I always like figure out what I want to watch or consume. I guess if the goal is to always be on the edge of something or to always find something new, then maybe the algorithm does that work for you. But I guess I'm just not like a new person, and especially with clothing.
I'm in my 20s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I think the whole, and unfortunately the episode's not out yet, but I think the whole thing with that we did with archiving, the kind of the idea that Spencer came up with is like sometimes it's good to like look back at what you like and trying to recontextualize it. And then of course as Spencer said, with like Star Wars or whatever, like it's fun to look at like the things that inspired your favorite films and then watch those things as opposed to, the new things which are just based on the thing that the old thing was based on. Let me continue this thing. So the person says, I think a majority of time when people come up to me, they ask, how do I look presentable? And to me, it's similar to walking up to a hairstylist and saying, I don't know what looks good on me. Can you give me something that's simple and easy to take care of? I don't like that either.
That is not going to go well. That is not a good way to get a haircut.
Yeah, it's not going to go. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck, dude? But anyway, he goes, a lot of people I know do that. Okay. And so you can pick out an aesthetic for them.
Fashionable haircut I can get. That's what I want to know as a recommendation.
Yeah, it's crazy. And a lot of people don't do that, so you can pick out an aesthetic for them, and that looks good if they do not care. Get a few t-shirts, button-ups mixed with some fitting jeans, chinos, and when everything looks good, they buy it, and then they don't look at the wardrobe again in a few years. I don't think that's true, because these are the same guys who say, like, are skinny jeans out now? What do I have to buy next? It's the same people. I think it's a fallacy for these people to think that these guys don't care about clothing. I think it's a fallacy to think that no one cares about clothing because everyone has taste somehow. There is something there. There's like a baseline of taste. He says, right now you're talking about fashion, which to me is the aesthetic choice of branding yourself that tells the world more about yourself. But for a lot of people, they focus more on presentability, which kind of also is branding if you think about it. Hey. And which is also just a very easy to put together look and make them not sloppy. What's a good quality t-shirt that won't rip? What's something that can sustain a lot of washes? That sort of thing. I agree that you should focus on aesthetic if your goal is fashion. I picked out a few aesthetics that I stick to, and I stick to it. Female presenting, formal, elegant wear, wearing Ann Taylor, blah blah blah. But when the guy asked for something general, it made me guide towards basic presentability, rather than an evolving wardrobe.
I think aesthetic. People get caught up a lot in aesthetic, and that's coming from someone who has a whole aesthetic.
I think maybe I shouldn't have put that into early. Yeah.
I think they get caught up like too much in it, and then it's like, oh well, what aesthetic am I going for? It's like, well, you don't even know who you are to begin. Like, you don't know who you are as a dresser to begin with.
Yeah.
Well, and it's an interesting difference there, right? Because they're getting at the same thing, but in very different ways. Like, what are the two? One is being presentable, and what was the other one? How you're perceived.
Branding yourself. Yeah.
Right, and so both of these are about how people perceive you. But one is forward-looking, like, I'm going to try to tell the world who I want them to see me as. And the other is defensive. I'm going to try to stop the world from judging me, right? Mm-hmm. And, like, doing anything from a place of defensiveness just immediately makes it miserable, I feel like. And you're just going to have a bad time shopping if you go into shopping from, like, a defensive posture. Like, what clothes will tell people not to hurt me? Right.
Also, I just wear a t-shirt that says, please don't hurt me.
Please be nice to me. It's
please.
I also hate everyone's like, oh, everyone has to be like personally branding themselves. Like, get real. It's like,
I mean, technically, we do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, we have a reason to. We're cool.
Yeah. I mean, like that's the kind of the difference.
I have a brand. Right? Like, I have to.
Well, like that's what I'm saying. I think people see
that everyone my hair on the street.
I don't want to say basic people, but everyone wants to be like that, But the thing is, when they're in pursuit of like this thing, whether it's like again like oh they want like their IG brand, or they are aspiring to be an influencer, or they are thinking about things like oh I'm gonna approach life like a STEM engineer or whatever. Like they always want to do it, but then they always miss the mark from like what actually makes it like.
Well, yeah,
good, right?
The personal brand works when you have something when
exactly
when it comes naturally. The personal brand works for us because all of us are living genuine lives. We're not trying to force a personality. We all have a personality.
I'm going to be honest. I don't actually think that much about what I buy on my personal brand. I just Google fun shirt and buy the first 5 things. That's
the first 5 ones that pop up.
Every other
even if I already have them, I just buy them anyway.
Yeah, gotta get duplicates.
You just have a saved Google. You have a saved Google search. You get a notification.
It's a good rotation. He's got a stable of fun shirts.
Yeah, go to the tailor, say, hey, can you remake these into pants or whatever? Like, 'cause, you don't get reliable, but yeah, I think it works fine. It works fine.
I had someone come in the store the other day and ask me if we could flip a reverse print shirt inside out. Like, oh, but I like the print on the inside better than the outside. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's a reverse print. Like, well, could you unstitch it and sew it?
Shirt?
No, it wasn't a Ren Spooner one, but there's can you it was a Liberty of London shirt that we made. And they're like, oh, but can you unstitch it and just flip it inside out? And I'm like, no. And well, could a tailor do that? And I'm like, no.
Maybe. They had the time
if they're your friend.
And why does that? I think it's a silly idea to print it on, to have the print be inside out. And I'm like, we're not going to see eye to eye on this, ma'am. Why are we still talking about it?
God, that's crazy, dude.
It's reversible? No, it's not.
That's not what that means. The reverse print is not that. I'm scrolling back through it, and I think I did say, by the way, and this is a friendly debate. This is obviously I think we're on the same page as JTR said, and I did call it out saying and being presentable means that you are presenting an aesthetic towards somebody. So I feel like you gotta, you can't really escape that.
Right.
And then it's oh well, when someone asks for clothes that are baseline and presentable, it's can I mix and match this with 80% of my wardrobe? And will I still look fairly attractive to the people surrounding me? And I'm like, you can't, you're max minning this, dude. You're trying to do both. Again,
he's trying to cost per wear, but lifestyle per wear.
And so basically, I responded to 2 parts. I said, can I mix and match with 80% of my wardrobe? So I'm like, okay, so it sounds like they have some taste because they want it to match other things that they already wear. That is an aesthetic, and they have something. And they go, well, I still look fairly attractive. They go, okay, well, what happens when 80% of their wardrobe isn't attractive, or when tastes change? And he's like, yeah, but sometimes you got to work with what you got. I don't want to. They don't think that they should spend, and I don't think they want to learn the difference between a slim and skinny jean. And I'm like, dude, you should absolutely know the difference between those things, And I started talking about tech bros and everything, and I think eventually people were like, yeah, Ethan's right.
Right.
You are not special. You're not special for decision fatigue. Because and I'm pretty sure this is why they're doing it, because they don't want to think about their clothes. And I was like, you're not Elon Musk. Your decisions are not millions of you're not doing $1 million decisions. You're not putting a guy on the moon. You're a fucking engineer for some import export company. You're not.
I do hate them. I just approach everything like an entrepreneur. Why? Why do you have to take joy out of everything?
Yeah. I'm gonna wake up at 4 a.m. every morning and have a bottle of water.
Yeah, do you also do micro naps every for 10 a minute every hour?
I don't sleep. I take micro naps. I like Jack Donaghy. Yeah, it's everything. This is my biggest problem with a lot of millennial businesses, right? It's how can we take the joy out of everything? How can we take the joy out of?
You're telling me the minimal branding and a colorful background and a hand holding the product isn't joyful to you?
No, I want to Marie Kondo the millennials. But how do we take as much joy out of drinking coffee as possible? Coffee concentrate, just mix it with water. It's 2 cups of coffee.
Have you seen Food Cube?
No.
Yeah.
What?
That's so dystopian future, Spencer.
I saw something where it's this food substitute cube thing where it's
I don't see it.
I'm trying to find the actual the thing that I was looking at, the website that I was looking at the other day, but my favorite sentence was, Our chicken cube has a truly meat-like texture.
Oh my god, truly meat-like texture. Oh.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. Why do they feel they take the fun out of everything? Again, I can't drink coffee, I can't eat food, I can't even cook. They're like, oh, like every fucking meal box. Like I can't even go to the grocery store anymore.
You can't hear your poop splash.
Apparently, I can't hear my poop splash.
You just poop into a tube.
I don't know what that's about.
That's how you look.
It's
funny. I actually
No, I'm serious. They foams up the water, so your poop doesn't splash.
That's why you put that little piece of toilet paper in there, so it doesn't it doesn't. Yeah, or not cat. Well, catches it.
This is the future millennials want.
You touch shit all the time. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, you take the toilet paper.
I just constantly, we have a bidet, and I kind of just as I'm going on.
I did link the thing. Actually, it's 1 year ago, Spencer. Our little stream
I found it. Hold on. Sorry, go on.
Nope.
The stream where we said it's bad and not interesting that you dress basic. That stream that we did. I linked it, and a guy said he watched it. And he goes, I actually enjoyed the whole thing, and I was like, "Oh wow, okay."
So I'm putting this in live and.
Oh my god! Square Eat already.
Oh, I was gonna say that one today too. I saw it.
Who?
No way!
How sad! How sad does your
squares wherever you want?
All the protein you need.
Or eat them as a quick snack. Reheat them if you're in a hurry, or cook.
Honestly, I would rather die.
You can get boxes like.
I was gonna say something else, but we're on live stream. But and get 20 meals a week.
I mean, hey, literally $6.50 for 4 squares? You kidding me? 4 squares a day?
Are these the Hollywood squares?
Four squares and a cot. Okay, that's all I need.
I do want to say that this would be a very efficient way for me to eat vegetables. Okay,
just squares.
Just eat your vegetables.
But hey, well, sometimes
expensive way to eat vegetables.
There's $6.50 a square.
The whole meal. It's a steal.
No, I've had like McDonald's for less, and that's more enjoyable.
This is literally from the fucking from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, where you had the gum, where it's the Thanksgiving meal gum in your mouth, dude.
Oh god, I'm just looking at the grill marks.
And the grill marks really get me going.
Crazy.
Yeah, caramel.
I cooked. I cooked this in my cast iron skillet.
Seasoned zucchini patty? Like, what does that mean?
And this has to be a joke. There's no fucking way.
What is a vegetable burger?
There's just no way someone did this, But I hope whoever did this did it to get money out of venture capitalists, because this is exactly
vegetal an actual word, or is that a misspelling of vegetable?
No, that's real.
It's got to be a misspelling.
There's a quinoa square.
Thank God for the quinoa. Peanut square, they have those.
Oh man.
I feel like you could. You could make them at home. You just buy the things, blend it up, and just like put in an ice cube tray.
Yeah.
I'm like super curious, like what the texture of these things are like. Like
how big are the squares? Are they like
very small?
I don't know if this is like a real. I can't tell if this is a real product or if this is like.
There's no fucking way this is a real product.
Or if this is like you can invest. No, it looks like you actually can like buy things. Okay,
I hope when you get it, it's one of those like glitter bombs.
I'm gonna try to find. It's a glitter bomb.
Like you bite into it, it's just all glitter.
This doesn't look real. I think this is fake, man.
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna see if I can find additional photos of it.
See, are there any rave reviews from?
What is Square Eat? This is from the Today Show. Modular squared food.
Made with love in Miami Beach.
Wait, let's see how far we could get with the meal plan selector. If we could get to proceed to payment, then it's real, right?
I mean, unless they're just taking your money. There's additional photos of it on this Today piece, which may or may not be paid advertising for them.
Oh, okay. What's crazy about this is that like make the squares first and see what they could do, and then they made boxes after that? Like, okay, what can we make with this? Like, because like when I was looking at the Mediterranean meal box, it is made of 4 squares. It is made of 2 sea bass squares, 1 asparagus, and 1 zucchini. I don't know if that's a Mediterranean meal. It sounds like they named it that afterwards.
They just had to bring a random thing. People are like, one square is 1 meal, and no.
But like, does it?
Wait, that's the end of the quote. Sorry. People say they're so tiny, but you're gonna be full after eating it.
I don't think I will be full after eating it.
Eating 3 chicken squares as the regular meal provides would be 204 calories with 33 grams of protein.
That's it. I mean,
eating 2 squares as a smaller meal
there was like couldn't
would
score
be
it down
136
anymore.
calories.
I said about more of this. Sorry.
They say it's just chicken, but I don't know.
I don't believe that.
Soylent Green is.
There are videos.
Thank God.
Oh, maybe we should watch some videos afterwards. I'm watching them on mute because this one promises them cutting it in half, I think. And I really want to see how it like interacts with it shows them making it, I think.
I'm hoping it like screams when it's cut in half.
Yeah, I'm watching it on mute because I don't know.
It just explodes when you cut it in half.
It might be like a weird freeze-dried thing.
Flames.
I mean, it definitely is a weird freeze-dried thing, but I'm trying to figure out how they make it.
Do you care so much about the podcast?
Yeah.
Yes.
What? So like, I just don't think you're gonna be like. I really won't. Like, I'm gonna take. Well, oh, good. Thanks for that. Like, I'm not even full from a hot pocket.
Yeah.
It so epitomizes though everything right now.
Can I? What's the kind of the size reference to a hot
does.
pocket? Do they have that?
Hot pocket for scale.
There's a hot pocket for scale.
People want cubes to eat because they can't be. They don't want decision fatigue. They want to throw in a.
They just want to eat the squares.
How sad does your life have to be where you're like, I'm a busy business.
Give me the squares.
I can only eat a square a day. I got business all day. Business.
Was this JTR? Was this Chuck in the thing who said like, decision fatigue only happens when you hate the decisions. Why don't you make it like a fun decision instead?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
so here's more proof that these things are real, and it looks like you microwave them.
That makes it even worse.
I can't even cook it. I have to microwave it.
I mean, maybe you could cook it. I'm watching it on mute for the sake of the stream.
Does it come with the grill mark?
Gesturing towards the microwave. It looks like
that looks like an eraser, Spencer. That looks like a bar of soap.
That's not real. That's not real. This is not.
Look at that! Look at that! Truly meat-like.
That's
meat-like.
No,
drizzling it with some salt, and now he's just. So you don't cut it. It looks like you just kind of like. I mean, yeah, it's a snack. You just like eat into it.
Although this guy looks like he would invent this.
I invented the square. Yeah.
This is not real.
I like the video Taste the Future because it just all of this reminds me so much of Dippin' Dots, which is another
all Dippin' Dots. Yeah, I actually
gimmick food, I guess.
I do like Dippin' Dots, and I missed out on my opportunity to get Dippin' Dots today while at Flag.
Yeah, I was gonna say they've really cornered the small theme park market.
Well, the market. That Square Eat thing, it has crazy dislikes on it.
Yeah,
like it got ratioed, dude.
People do not.
It's so ratioed. I'm watching him put it in a skillet, and these are like little tiny. Oh my god! And he arranges them too in a larger square.
Oh, there's no comments.
They turned off comments.
We're gonna turn his comments off because this isn't real.
No, there's
267 subscribers. They have no business.
He did a spit take on the bite. Hold on, I gotta watch this. Wait.
You should see the comments on Twitter.
He didn't swallow.
This isn't real.
Well, I mean, it cut before he swallowed it, but yeah.
Someone says in the comments, "Is this for dog?"
The food, the cube food.
The cube food.
I am all in on this. The future is the way.
No.
Oh my god. Okay, Elon Musk.
I mean, it reminds me of like there was that like Twitter thing, or not Twitter, TikTok thing where it was like a brand that does like NFT virtual clothing trying to promote their shit, and all the comments were like, "You guys laugh at this now, but in 10 years you're going to be paying $1 million for virtual sneakers." And I'm like, "No, I'm not.
No,
Are
I'm
you
not.
out of
no.
your
I
mind?"
Put them on my feet.
Yeah.
Physical goods, man. Physical goods.
I got the other day. I was in a restaurant and the like the automatic soap dispenser wasn't working, and the automatic paper towel thing wasn't working, and I got so mad. And I was like, "Just make everything."
Yeah.
Like, just no. I don't need any fancy soap dispenser. Just give me a mechanical thing.
Internet
Or just
Give me a bar of soap.
Give
Or
me
just a stack of paper towels.
Give me a squeeze bottle of soap, man.
Or
anytime like an automatic sink doesn't work
hands.
or whatever, I'm like, I get so mad. I become a
I get mad when the automatic sinks don't work and there's nothing to do about it. But you try every
and it's like, oh, so it can only be automatic. It's like there's no fail safe. That sucks.
To give you some more color about how this fashion and beauty chat is on Psy, someone says, do you guys feel like getting a detailed snake tattoo could make people and potential partners uncomfortable?
It would, no.
I'm asking because if someone had a realistic bug or spider tattoo, it would pretty much be a deal breaker for me.
It sounds like it's something that happened to them.
Yeah,
he obviously.
Or maybe he has a detailed snake tattoo and he's just trying to get objective opinions.
Alright, so this is a real question. People still find tattoos like partners and stuff? If you're not ultra religious, I assume.
Someone says here, anyone have a favorite short sleeve button down shirt brand? I'm trying to change my wardrobe to exclusively short sleeve button down shirts.
Exclusively.
That's
hopefully it'll match with some bomber jackets for the colder times.
Or long.
Yeah. And then it's like a face where it's like,
hey, like you know what that means.
It's like a panda doing basically the Steven Crowder like.
Oh, there you go.
It's like a very cheeky little emoji face thing.
Yeah, I like it.
And then someone did. Oh, was Poppin, who is in MFA? I didn't see this. This was yesterday. He goes, "Why exclusively?" I think that's so good. What's the budget? $40. Exclusively because I'm tired of being boring. I only have blank T-shirts.
$40 for like.
I also prefer non-tuck.
Of course, non-tuck.
Yeah.
And so like.
Someone tagged me and they said, "Any thoughts where I should buy a pair of Oxfords? Looking for black, more for casual everyday use when I pair them with my button-ups and casual chinos. So nothing too fancy." I'm sorry, you said black Oxfords?
No, can they see the thing?
Yeah, they can see that, yeah.
Can they see that it's pink?
I don't know, yeah.
It does have to be pretty sturdy because I get to myself into a lot of messes. Any thoughts?
Oh, he's a messy boy. Maybe I said everywhere.
So when I said, when you say Oxfords, are you talking like general lace-up shoes or like closed lacing? The guy goes closed lacing, and I'm like, well, closed lacing and casual doesn't really go together, in my opinion.
They don't.
And then he prefers tips that are more rounded. And I said, go for Grant Stone, Meerman, or Morehouse. I think I prefer Grant Stone or Morehouse because I don't really like the last of Meerman too much. Luff and Tongue is good too. And they go, I had some Calvin Klein Oxfords, but they got ruined pretty easily.
They got ruined.
Good.
And then I said, you can try pre-owned Allen Edmonds on eBay if you don't mind used shoes. They go, I'll pass on it. And I'm like, really? I mean, whatever, it's fine. And then it goes, what else was I looking for here? I'm gonna be poor. I just got Ultra Boost and new Oxfords this month. And I'm like, well, nothing. I didn't respond to that, but I said, nothing beats the matte and deep color of Shell Cordovan. And they go, yeah, I'm not gonna do that one.
Not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it. And then
just do it, man. Just do it.
I do like these stories, even of you essentially trolling normies, right? It's like the opposite of what happens on like MFA posts when people like come in and like they're having their like somebody's like wearing like Rick Owens or whatever, and people are like, this is trash, and you're like going and you're like, Shell Cordovan. It's a very
I mean, That's my whole thing. Like, even though it sounds like high fashion, like I'm still like a pretty trad dresser. Like I am not like it's not that crazy. It's like, come on, guys, you can do it. But of course, people want like they're accustomed to like things being like, flashy or whatever. Someone did jump in and say, general rule is brown matches with more colors unless you wear a lot of black attire. And the guy, this guy, not me, even said, "Have you tried the chukka boots?" And I was like, "Oh, this guy's
the noble chukka,
the noble one." And then someone, not me, said, "Well, if you want a more casual dress suit, why don't you try loafers?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, dude! You should totally get loafers. Of course, they probably won't be the loafers that I want them to be, but." It's like one of those things. Would I want someone to wear like an Oxford, like a really like whatever, like a modern Allen Edmonds Oxford, or like a Magnani loafer? And I think I hate like Magnani like super long vamp loafers more than I hate the idea of wearing an Oxford with every outfit.
Yeah.
I hate it too. I hate everything.
They're also talking about white jeans, where they said, "Oh man, I was the only one who didn't buy them."
Oh yeah, from
because
Express
they're like $30. Jeans for $30. How did you try the ones on Express? And he goes, "Yeah, it was 35, but then LA tax makes it 40."
Oh boy.
How much is tax in LA?
Oh, like 9%, 9.5%.
10.25.
Shit.
But then I said, "Why don't you guys try like Levi's 501s?" They go, "Well, I tried finding them at the Levi's outlet at the Citadel."
The Citadel is like a very ominous name for a mall.
For a mall, yeah.
It's also just straight up overt Babylonian pagan branding all over it.
Yeah,
well, because
that's the other thing. Its location is kind of bad too, because it's just like off of the freeway.
For those of
literally
you who don't
right
know,
next to the freeway.
LA has a big outdoor mall called the Citadel, which was housed in a like former headquarters of a tire company. It was built in the 1920s, and it's like this very ornate like Babylonian or Assyrian kind of motif. Then eventually it was turned into a mall, and they were like, "Hey, we could keep this going."
Yeah.
Let's redecorate nothing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this in live for your guys' reference. But it's fucking crazy.
In live for your pleasure.
For your pleasure.
I mean,
and then during Christmas, they get they put on giant bows. Yeah, you could see that. You could see that if you scroll down a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
They had they had big signs that displayed advertisements, and then I guess I was looking at that on stream for everybody. They had big advertisements that used to say, here's what stores we have, and then Kobe died, and then for a long time it was all just like rest in peace Kobe, and then the pandemic happened, and then it was like stay
put a
safe.
Giant mask.
Yeah, put a giant mask on the Citadel. And only recently have they gone back to saying, hey, we have discounts on jeans.
Well, not as good as Express, apparently.
Not as good as Express. Man. The discounts at Express are truly out of this world.
Someone said, "I don't think I spent any money on clothes this year." Oh wait, no, I spent $40 at Japangelis.
Japangelis.
Oh, you don't know?
I don't know about
it's a streetwear brand where everything is like Little Tokyo X Los Angeles themed. Where like you can look it up.
I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, it's in Little Tokyo. It's right next to Kura Revolver.
Oh yeah. I've seen this. I know what this is.
Yeah, I'll put this in live too. What was it? Didn't we I think one day we missed AJ Raphael walking in there. Like there's like a TikTok of him going in there.
And we're in the background saying AJ Raphael will never be here.
Is anybody in Psy do like real streetwear or like real tech wear?
Well, Was is in there. If you look up Was Poppin, WUZ on Instagram, he just joined Psy. And so I was like, I was texting him. I was like, bro, please show up to like a boba event or something so we could like fucking show these guys what's up. Like, Was is so cool.
I don't really post fits in the inside because they will never get.
Oh yeah,
attention.
dude. Psy. I mean, again, I love Psy a lot for what it is. You know, it's a great place to like hang out and maybe like catch a movie or try like a new like have some Asian food with some people or do Asian things. Like again, I was at a place where they were, or I went to an event where they are literally trying as many boba places in the 626 as possible every week. But yeah, it's like kind of like I think I posted this in the photography chat where like someone has a really stylized influencer picture of a dude wearing a Zara suit or something, and then like everyone loved that shit. Everyone was like, "This is like the best picture I've ever seen in my like ever." And then I like posted like some film pics of the Huntington, and like no one cares.
What do you think the general take is on your style? Like, do they think it's good or do they think it's bad? Like, what do you think the response is?
Well,
they say it's interesting and then don't react to the
well, no, I think everyone generally I think it's one of those things where people are maybe not intimidated. Like I think they understand that they don't get it, but they know that it's good. And I think it probably is helped by the fact that I have some like not clout on Instagram, but some people do recognize me from male fashion advice on Reddit. Like some of the guys, like I said, will be like, "Oh wow, yeah, I see your stuff on on MFA or whatever." So like I think that kind of helps. We're like clout or having thunder behind it is certainly like, okay, well this is like he obviously knows what he's doing, so we don't have to like. And I think that also makes it's a detriment to me where like no one will gas it up because it's like, well, Ethan already knows he looks good, like not in a bad way, but like he doesn't need the accolades. And so it makes it sometimes kind of tough where I can't really get exactly how they feel, but I know in person people always like, "Oh wow, Ethan, you look so great," or sometimes they say you look dapper, and I think it's helped that I go to events wearing what I normally wear. Maybe not a tie, but like I went to a house party where I was wearing like the DB blazer with like Chelsea boots and like selvage jeans and then severely unbuttoned Aloha shirt, and I think that was fine. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, dude, you're wearing a jacket. Of course you are." Like I think it's like kind of like stuff like that. But it's not like MFA mind where they're like, "Oh, I could never wear that," or "What do you even do for a living?" So that's kind of how it is. I honestly don't talk about it too much unless I get into a conversation like I did, like I said earlier in the stream, where like I was trying to help someone get dressed or at least explain the mindset of how you should buy clothing or think of clothing. But yeah, no one else is really in there that's really particularly fashionable. At least in the way that we do it. I mean, I know Jason's there, but Jason doesn't post as much. Was just joined in, so I don't think he's gonna post a lot in there either.
I just posted my my DB dinner jacket. See what happens.
Where? Oh, in selfies? You should put in fashion and beauty, dude.
Oh, should I? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, selfies is kind of tough because I think selfie in the yeah. So there's a selfie channel in there, and that's yeah. There's a lot. I mean, maybe I can let me screenshot what the channels look like, and you can let me know if you want to have these channels in our Discord.
Hopefully, some that'll match with bomber jackets for the colder times.
The colder times, baby.
Can we have a channel just called the colder times?
Yeah. When winter comes up, it'll just all be cold weather related stuff.
Yeah.
So this is a good examples of those channels.
If that a guy ever joins the Discord,
that channel.
Sees that channel, it's gonna be like the I think you should leave sketch where they're reading like the court transcript.
Leave it.
Back to him.
The guy just sees the channel and is like, "What the hell?
What the hell?
What's in Hall of Fame? I don't even know what the fuck's in Hall of Fame. What is this? Oh, okay, so it's when you archive something that got a lot of reactions. Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I don't. I'm in this. I like meeting people. I like talking, but I don't spend my entire life on Discord, so I don't like.
Some of these people do, and you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, right now. Okay, here I'll give an example. I'll show you. You know, maybe someday we'll be like this. But
is this where your part is?
But oh, good thing I didn't. Oh, good thing I didn't paste this back into side. But like, here's a good example. This is how many people are like. There's like multiple like audio channels, and then there's like all these people that are in it.
Like, I get terrified of going into any of the audio.
Well, how else are you gonna find a girlfriend, Jason? How else are you gonna find?
That's true.
Eventually,
it will be tough for me to find a new girlfriend.
How are you gonna make business connections without cold opening into a Discord voice?
That's true.
Oh, they're playing Catan virtually. Yeah, it's like college, dude. It's exactly college. It's college, but like post grad, you know. Like, let me give you. I'm gonna jump in the dating and relationships chat real quick here.
Oh boy.
Let's see what they're talking about. Yeah. No, I think this one's okay. Someone had said, "I just made $200 by making out with a client at work." I'm sorry, a man twice their age. Sure.
Jeez.
I guess
they're describing almost an episode of Mad Men.
Yeah. I don't know the if this person is like a sex worker, or if this is like a work party or something that went crazy.
It's possible that she works at like a kissing factory, and this was all a regular day's work.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, it wasn't even.
It's just it's just fully monetized now.
I like this. Okay, so someone said, "What? Trader? What? I don't know what they're talking about." Someone said that it's become very hobby-based activities where you find other single people, and someone said, "I tried at the gym, but everyone there was stupid."
Everyone there was so dumb.
Yeah, well, let me see the actual thing here. I tried this, and all the dudes I met at the gym were buff but stupid.
Okay.
Bunch of dumbass.
Yeah.
Muscle man.
I mean, this is like a good example. Like, this is what, you know, we talk about the circles that we have. This is one of mine, and I'm not even that active in it. Someone says, "At what point does talking about books become being hit on?" See, these people. I mean, you know, yeah. It's
what a nerd.
If you want a business-minded person, if you're trying to attract a business-minded person, conventions would be an ideal place to meet someone. Imagine that, dude. I'm gonna go to the plumber convention to meet a girl.
Dental technology convention.
Is that where Kenji met his wife?
Who knows?
Oh, okay. So I think it's. Someone said, "I need a break from always talking about the same things. Online combos seem so stiff. How do I meet single people IRL?" Man, I'm like being transported to like my Tumblr days, dude.
Back to the past.
Back to the past. I was gonna say if they did if Psy or someone inside did the murder mystery party or like a black tie event party, I would definitely write an article about that. I would be very nice, obviously, but I want to take pictures of people and how they approach dressing up, because I feel like seeing how people, like regular people, do it is so fascinating to me. Like when they were like, "Oh yeah, got dressed up for brunch," and then like it was like the baggy, like not even, it was like skinny suits but like untailored, where like the sleeves are all long and like there's so much stacking at the ankle. Like that's what you would expect from this.
Yeah.
And I would love to, like, again, even if like it's also a really great example of like, even if I'm like the most correctly dressed person there, it means nothing for me socially. Like, it doesn't make me any better, or in fact, it makes me probably be the worst person in the room because I'm like out of place, you know. But like, you know, like that's fine. I think a lot of people who maybe not read the blog but who go on MFA have to like also know like it doesn't really matter, you know, like and maybe those alpha M guys need to know that just because they're wearing a suit doesn't make them automatically like the hot shit.
Yeah. Unless you're wearing the kinds of suits that we like.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then you are absolutely the hot shit.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Phew.
This is bad stuff.
I'm just thinking through this whole conversation tonight, and like there's like this like it's the optimization thing, right? Of like the food optimization thing of like the shopping, but it all feels like almost like this gamification of life, or like this. But it's not gamification, right? Gamification would be like we're gonna have fun while we do it. But this is all like just trying to suck all the fun out of things. I think about it as also like people, I don't know, having jobs they don't like, but also not thinking that they need to have jobs that they do like, if that makes sense. Like just feeling like, oh, that's okay. But it's also like taking that to every other element of life too. And it's just how can I like minimize how much time I spend on everything else so I get to this like limited period of time that's like fun time. But you just keep shrinking and shrinking what that is instead of trying to find a way to like expand the hours of your day where you're like enjoying being alive, right? Which I feel like is a much like, if you want to optimize life, the better way to optimize life would be say, okay, when I go shopping, how am I going to make that a fun experience? Not how am I going to make it a fast experience. When I'm going to go out to eat, how am I going to make that a fun experience? Not how am I going to make that a fast experience, right? And it's
cubes.
Right, the cubes, right. And it's all this thing of just like leaning into just like speed, right? Instead of like joy. And I just think that's
because I feel like everyone's like wants to be on the hustle mindset, and they're like, oh man, I gotta eat fast so I have time to hustle, you know, shit like that.
Well, I need to hustle so I can make a bunch of money so I can spend less time working, right? But the reality is you just never stop working because you've turned all of life into a job while pretending that you're like creating this like brilliant life work balance, you know?
Yeah.
But instead, it's just all work now. Everything is a problem to be solved, and nothing is just to be enjoyed.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, and not to hint at a future episode here, but like the fact that this particular in size, like, you know, kids of Asian immigrants, I feel like that also plays a factor of like why you got to optimize and why they feel maybe more comfortable hustling, you know, as opposed to kind of enjoying things. That's kind of a big like immigrant mindset of like keep your head down and work hard until you attain the dream, you know. But yeah, I think you know everything else is all like that. I don't know why it's proliferated so much, you know, where like, and why people focus on the negative and the idea that you have to struggle so much. I don't know why that's a thing. Like I can maybe understand like working hard, but I never understand why like you should like you need to hate your life in order to love your life later on. You know, I'm reminded of that guy who posted for that Debone Factor lookbook that was posted at MFA, and some people, the guy's like, I could never wear this. I would get looks if I went to a social gathering. And then I said, you should totally film that to know what they do. And he goes, well, I would first have to be invited to a social gathering first.
It's like yeah, you would.
Yeah, and so yeah, and it's like, you know, these people like they want to, they take pride in like this kind of like, if they game it and they struggle and everything, that it'll somehow be like they're better off for it. They want to be praised by the suffering, you know, or by how much suffering that they've done, you know, when in reality it doesn't matter. Like it's not like that's not something you should fucking be proud of, dude. And no one's gonna, you know, no one is really gonna praise you for it, not because they don't care, but maybe because everyone else is also doing it. Like it's just not special, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously have, you know, we all have our different experiences. There's lots of different immigrant experiences. I think about coming from a big Greek family that's not that far away from our immigration experience, right? And it's just, it's just a lot of, it's a lot of joy, I guess is what I would say, right? And it's definitely that hard work ethic, and it's definitely like get a practical degree and do something practical in your life and have a way, make sure that like you're going to like make money, right, and be able to survive. All of those kind of things exist there, and that pressure exists there, and people resist it or they don't to different degrees. But there's also just like this this sense of celebration, I guess I would say, about life, of dancing and music and joy, and this idea at the end of the day that you're gonna have joy and you're gonna have these vibrant arguments and all of this. You know what I mean? It's just very like it's just very lively, and there is, and while there's this striving to it, it's not so. It's not filled with. Life can be tough, right? But it's not agony, if that makes sense. You celebrate in the in the struggle, and it feels like there's this like three,
there's
four,
some oil in there.
where it's like where the joy has just like vanished from that, I guess, in a way, and now we're just down to the struggle and just down to the striving, and just down like, let me get the A part of me, let me get the right SAT score, let me go out and do these things, and let me just like get through life in a way.
And then we end up with coffee concentrate
and square
eats
and square food.
Right.
Yeah, my God. Yeah. I don't know how you even fight this thing, man.
Yeah.
It's like
there's
like
I mean, I think we fight it by being
alive.
Right.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, right? We're like, it's so common. Clearly, you guys are now seeing it where these people come into the Discord or DM me or whatever, where they have this like preconceived notion about how like,
You like it?
if we focus on the dressing part, like how hard it is to be us or whatever, and they want it to just be about clothing, but like you have to literally like change your mindset, like I think to JTR, your point about like, that they feel resigned to these jobs. It's like, yeah, well, sometimes you have to figure out what you want to do, and of course reconcile that with how you're going to afford the lifestyle that you want. But there is always a way to kind of get there, but people seem to be resistant to finding a solution in that way. Like it's sad, but hopefully, again, with all of us, it's like we're all clear examples of it. Some of us have are able to reconcile wearing what we like at a conservative job, or I guess unless you wear a green suit to work and your finance boss pulls you aside and says you can't wear that anymore, or you get to find a job where it doesn't really matter what you wear, and still make enough to again support your life, or at least be in the building blocks of it.
Right.
But people feel resigned. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you can even find joy in like I've had lousy jobs, right? I worked at an amusement park for a while. I gardened for a while, which was not terrible. That was actually quite a fun job. Or like, worked in, all these kind of places, right? And like, it still wasn't, I don't know. I didn't think it was miserable the whole time, I guess is all I would say about it. Like I was not, there were things I liked about it, things I did not like about it. I'm glad not to still be doing it. But I don't remember that all. Like there was, there were people there. I don't know. There's all those kind of things, and it's finding those things of actually just like, I think it's a lot of it's just slowing down. I feel like, which I am not doing most of the time in my own life, right? But I do feel like that just like slow food, slow fashion, slow whatever. Instead of like rushing to like consume as much as you possibly can, as cheaply as you can, as fast as you can, like that's the difference. And I feel like so often like people come onto the Discord, and what we're trying to tell them like at the very beginning is like, don't buy stuff so fast. They're like, I need a new wardrobe, and we're like, maybe you need a new pair of shoes, maybe you need a new jacket, but you do not need a whole new wardrobe first thing. Like that is a bad idea.
Absolutely.
Like just slow down.
You end up running into that whole like, oh, how can I get a whole new?
I think life would be better if everything moved at a slower pace, and some things were just slightly more inconvenient.
Yeah.
A little bit of inconvenience.
Yeah, like having to turn the nozzle on.
It keeps you sharp. It keeps you sharp.
Yeah. Is this just an argument for LA over New York and the traffic that we're really hearing now?
That's it.
I don't know how strong of an argument that would be, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, listen, New York is still better.
Yeah.
All these millennial brands are coming out of.
They're coming for all of us in the end.
We all become millennial brands.
Yeah, they're gonna make us all eat the cubes in the end.
I saw something. I saw like a post that was like, we were born in the 80s, and it was like a total like boomer post, like we drank out of hoses, like we played outside, and I was like,
yeah, I could still do both of those
like,
things
oh my
right now
god,
if I
if
want.
people that are only like 10, 15 years older than me are posting like this, am I gonna like I'm gonna eventually start posting like this? Like, is this what we're all doomed to become?
Yeah.
I didn't have an iPad growing up.
Yeah.
I was born in 1990.
We were the last generation to not grow up with cell phones.
My hobbies included sports, and that was it.
Yes, I know what a dial-up modem sounds like.
I know
and a landline.
Tire, yeah.
They made pants wide.
Buttons.
They made pants wide.
Back in my day, pants were skin tight. And you didn't complain about it.
Yeah.
So I was bored when I was at my workout earlier, and I listened to the Menswear Mindset with Gentleman's Avenue and Aspiring Gent. And not to plug a rival podcast, but they had an episode on shoes, and one of them was talking about how it's one of those things where, again, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but like how people like defend really not like a bad take, but
I would have beaten that.
Too. But it was like
you would have beaten
like,
a Full House.
I was.
Oh, you had a Full House? I had 2 pairs. Never mind. I wouldn't have beaten it. I'm glad I folded.
Yeah, maybe it's a good thing you folded. Yeah. But in it, they were saying like how like everyone's always talking about the Goodyear welt, but that's kind of overrated. We got to go for the Blake stitch, and I was like, no, like that's not it, dude.
You're like, and I am not in the men's.
Like, I mean, I get it. Blake stitch shoes are like they're softer, or they break in a little bit easier. They don't feel as they don't they don't feel as heavy as like as Goodyear welt. And they were talking like, and obviously Blake stitch you can't get them resold, but like they're just as good. And I'm like, I don't know, you kind of like shot yourself in the foot by saying that. Like they're not.
You shot yourself in the Blake stitch
by the definition that you literally just said.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like, I'm not a big fan of Magnani shoes, like, at all. Like, that's not... I don't care if they're, like, $500 or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not here's a hot take. I'm not a big fan of, like, most, like, luxury-type shoes, other than, like, Albans. The shapes are always wrong.
I mean, luxury versus, like... I mean, heritage? I don't know. Like, they're always so, like... Nowadays, everything is so nebulous with those things, right? People conflate the two.
Well, which luxury shoes do you like, right? Like, do Gucci sliders pass the test?
Yeah, that's no, but
it's a no from me, dog.
Like, I mean, what's the Berluti shoes? I get it, they're I don't know, pretty to look at, kind of
colorful.
Colorful.
Listen. The only luxury shoe I'm getting is as long as it's, multiple colors and like the leather looks aged, and that the more monk straps, the merrier.
I always think that I like really trad shoes and basically only really trad shoes, and then I look at my closet and I go, I guess that's not as true as I like to think it is.
Where are you? What shoes do you have?
Well, yeah, that's true. I only take pictures without the shoes. The shoes remain hidden, right? Most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I should pull out more of the weird ones. I've got some twisted brogues that are like these. Burberry shoes where they're slightly like twisted in their design, so it's not like correctly facing. Lots of like different some different pairs of loafers. I have those patchwork loafers, but those are more heritage, right? Because those were made by a specific guy in New York City, right? Working out of a studio, making leather products. So I feel like that's more heritage than fashiony. But I bought them through 18 East, so I don't know. Maybe that's more fashiony. I have some ALD loafers, so those are definitely more fashiony than craft, right?
Okay.
And then then there's also like there's Eldon Cordovans on the way, so that's the other direction more. And then there's maybe a couple pair of sneakers that don't get a lot of wear, Hardly ever, and there's some other stuff in there too. So I don't know. It's definitely more. But what gets the most wear is the stuff that's the more boring it is. It probably on the shoe side versus the clothes side probably gets more wear that way.
I mean, yeah, that's
which isn't true for my clothes, right? Like I think people say that's about true of everything, but like on my clothes side, the wilder it is, the more I'm like trying to get it out of my closet and like excited to wear it.
Right. That's like you said. I'm curious to see what direction I go in the future. If it gets weirder or unweirder, unweirder.
Well, more old man, right? Like
yeah.
do you get into like the, or not even that? It's like almost like the I feel like it's either I was talking to Jeremy Kirkland about this earlier tonight, and just this idea of, because we're sort of diverging in our styles, and he's more and more going for things that are a little bit more blending in, right? And I keep trying to find things that are a little stranger. And I feel like you can be drawn in either of those directions, but it's hard to just sort of stay still, because when you're wearing just like trad clothes, they become more stodgy naturally, as you're older.
Right. As you get older,
like,
yeah.
Right, because now it's like there's nothing, it's that we were talking about that idea of like Jesse would put this on too, right? And it's just like, oh, now I'm just like wearing,
damn,
now I'm just an old guy wearing a suit. Before I was like young, and I was like, it was funny. I'm a guy in a suit, aren't I? Funny, like businessman dress up. But now it's another.
I'm a businessman. Look at me.
Right. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Let's looking back, especially I've been so exponential. But also, like, we're still in our mid-20s, or I guess I'm entering my late 20s. Oh my god,
mid-90s.
I think I've just triggered hopefully a quarter life crisis, not a midway life crisis.
Listen, if this is a midlife crisis, fingers crossed for me.
Oh no,
that's bad.
Yeah,
you
I
already learned that when you talk about dying, you just mean your hair. So that was a big relief for me tonight.
There
I
you
feel a lot better.
I was about to make
I'll be dying
but
on
I
the
realized I probably can't say it on Twitch, so never mind.
No, yeah, we don't want to get no.
The Twitch cops are gonna come get you.
Yeah, I mean, yes, like none of us have really. I mean, I guess me recently, but none of us have ever really gotten like the full-time job yet either. Or like the the kind of real steps in the career until quite recently. So it's interesting to know to think about what will happen, as things go on. I don't know.
Time goes by.
Like, because I mean, it's like we don't really have anyone else like that we're looking at, either. Like, no, not many people our age are into menswear in this way, and the people that are kind of in the menswear industry, so they're kind of not. They're kind of not like they're kind of biased, right? Like Buzz Tang of the Anthology, great dresser. I don't think his style has gotten crazy, but he kind of dresses the same, and he owns the brand that he wears, so it's kind of like he's gonna have to just kind of keep wearing the same kind of stuff. And then you got you got Chase and Jay, and Matt Woodruff over at J Muser. I guess it's kind of close to what we do, but again, they still work in the industry. I mean, I think my tailored style has gotten a little bit more, darker, and I wouldn't say conservative, but like it utilizes a lot more solids. But that could also just be like the fad of, moving away from Drake's, as Drake stops making check jacket, striped shirt content. The main young guy content that we're seeing, that I see,
more monotone.
Yeah, monotone. Like we're seeing like Matt Woodruff, Jay Muser, all those guys over there, and of course like the Armory's always kind of been kind of more normal, kind of corporate yuppie kind of thing. Bryceland's is okay, but of course that's the casual style is something that I think is pretty easy, but the tailored style is pretty normal. It's not as crazy as like what mine used to kind of be.
And your style is changing right now, right? It's just that you're upping quality more than changing your aesthetic.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
You're trying to get more specific about it, and that's what I mean when I say like people getting more like the direction you go are more normie or more out there, right? Is you can choose to spend money to find really weird stuff, right, out there,
right?
Or you can spend money to find the best of things, right, or better quality of things that have like just like maybe have some peculiarities about them. And those aren't, I guess it's not like a totally consistent spectrum, but those are kind of choice points that exist.
Yeah,
if you're gonna,
you're absolutely right. I don't know, like I mean, so far nothing really crazy has called out to me. I mean, other than it being vintage, which makes the archiving episode that's going to come out in a couple of weeks after we do the one that comes out this Sunday on how we talk about menswear. But that's kind of really ties in about like what do we choose to keep, what do we choose to wear, what have we recontextualized? Because I think that Spencer and I, against some of our outfits are still kind of wild, and we still have some of our kind of more statement pieces, but we've had them for a long time. So clearly, we had the taste to keep them here. And so for me, it's like one of those things where, like, yeah, maybe the suiting part will get will get more trad or honed in and higher quality, but the fun stuff is still like the vintage that I've always had, like the gaucho shirts or the the 1930s rayon polos or like the fun true vintage sport shirts that I have that, like, before I used to wear them. What did Spencer say? Oh, well, I guess you haven't heard it yet, but the Ryan Gosling style, you wear it with like chinos and like a cream fedora, and then now I wear it with like jeans, or I wear it with like easy pants, wide leg easy pants, stuff like that. So it's, I don't know, or it could be like Kiyoshi, right? I mean, I know Kiyoshi's just listening, but like, kind of similar where he went to trad and he started doing the corporate stuff, and then now it's like, yeah, he wears some of that stuff from work still, kind of, but then
doing the Miami Vice.
Yeah, and then outside of it, it's like kind of more fun 18E stuff that I still can kind of like weave into with some of my fits that I have or some of the pieces. But yeah, luckily I've never had to like do a complete refresh, right? Like, I think something that Spencer and I've always talked about is how even if the stuff that we've gotten are wild and cheap by price, it is still well made, so it still lasted us. Like my fun like Aloha shirt. So like, we haven't had that stage where like, okay, the old guard of clothing is finally breaking down, or we're literally growing out of it, where now we have to really make the decision of, are we going to buy something in a new direction or keep going down the same one, or honing it? So, fingers crossed if like, if our wardrobes don't combust into flames, or that we don't like have a crazy physique change that requires a totally new direction. But because I think we're spoiled by the archive, because that's what we've just had. We've had this consistent stuff. We've had the same chinos and ties and sport coats for like 3 to 5 years. So I still don't know if we're still beholden to it, or if we truly like it, right? Like, we haven't had to make the tough decision yet. So stuff to think about. The existential crisis, aging, mortality, getting older. That fun. It's almost time for us to maybe on the next hand.
Yeah, it's time to be done.
I'm sorry?
It's 9:59. I've been up since like 5 a.m.
Oh, me too, man.
Why?
I just woke up.
Just be vibing. He's just vibing. You ever just wake up and be awake?
Okay, this round.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Well, this might take a little while because JT's got a lot of money, so he'll have to go all in, I think, or I guess, yeah. I guess it won't let him.
29%.
If I just win, we can end it right now. I feel like that's in everyone's interest, but
we'll see. We'll see.
Oh shit!
Good for Ethan.
Oh, good for you.
That was crazy, dude. I've been like, how many losses have I had so far? Like
2.
Like 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
I've been in the final round of this for like weeks now, and I never.
All right, we get it. You're better at poker.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm unlucky, and it's not fair. I only had to play.
Oh, it's Jason. It's gonna be Jason. Oh man. Damn, son.
Congrats.
Damn, son. Where'd you get this one?
Oh wait, we both.
How did you get more money than me?
I don't know. Okay.
I don't know. Okay.
What is going on?
I gotta hold on.
1566.
I can't. It doesn't let me do it. If I click all in,
no,
it doesn't.
I know.
Let me...
I'm saying you got to match him.
You can't bet more money than the other person.
I'm going all the damn way, apparently. Go!
Damn! All right.
And now you just got to keep doing it.
It's gonna be so long.
Good God. Let's see how long it takes.
All right, you can go all in now.
No,
I can't. I
No.
can't.
You can only bet as much.
Oh, man, we're evenly matched, dude. Oh.
Oh wow, that was unlucky.
Oh,
Oh, shit. Oh,
Shit!
Okay.
Crazy.
That's some horse shit.
This is the winner. That's right. Don't forget, we're gonna have a new episode of the podcast coming out
We're
this
gonna have
weekend.
a new episode of the episode.
Yeah, we have a menswear chat. This was kind of menswear chat today. We'll see what we have time for in addition to Sad Head Sunday. Maybe we'll watch a Gentleman's Gazette video.
And my hair is now pink, so that's a win for everybody.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, we got that. Big thank you to Jason, JTR, and Scoops who left already, but thank you to those guys for joining us for poker this evening. Go to patreon.com/sounddirection if you want to join in the Discord that we're in. $10 will make MJ say your name. So
we'll make him
MJ,
do it.
MJ, what's the people?
So the people's names I'm being made to say are Austin Malott, Shane Curry, Philip Gregard, Audrey Jessica, Jeremy Ostreicher, Jarrett Collian, and James Avanzo.
We appreciate you guys so much. We'll be back on Sunday at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Bye-bye.
Bye.